Hey there folks, welcome back to the I Am CDB project. I am your host CDB, you are not, and today we're going to be using Ariana and Evan's Asian Plum, which has a wonderful plum scent. There's the color, it's quite dark. I believe, if memory serves, this is when Peter Charkalis first started experimenting with goat milk formula and all that sort of stuff, so we'll give it a shot. We're also going to use again the RazoRock Game Changer again. I used my Mamba handle and I really love this combination. I've been using it all week and it's been a phenomenal razor. We'll also use the RazoRock 400. This one actually has an aluminum handle. Last week when I showed you this particular brush, I talked about it being much heavier than this one. Well, after the video, I actually got to looking at it and I figured out it was actually a metal or aluminum. And then a viewer also emailed me later and I was like, yeah, I noticed that after the fact. But last week I was like, this one is way heavier. I actually prefer this one. I don't like weighty handled brushes, although it is a good brush. It's got a good soft nod. And if you like a weighty handle, the black 400 would probably be a good option for you, and of course it's not super expensive, which you know I of course like. All right, let's get to it here with our Asian Plum from Ariana and Evans, which is of course by Peter Charkalis, who I'm friends with. Very nice gentleman in my estimation, who's really, boy, that guy works hard. He's always plugging. I mean, he works a regular job and then he makes all these shaving products too. He's always got an iron in the fire, as they say, so God bless him. He's always working at it. All right. Smells nice, I can tell you that. And last I recall, it had nice performance. We all tested this when it was, when he was developing it, the formula. And it is indeed good stuff, but as I've said so many times, everything's good, you know. This one may be a little bit better than the next, maybe not as good as some, but it's good, I can tell you that. It really varies from person to person as to how they feel about performance. There's no one soap that is just the end all be all, although this is good. I would say it's probably better than most in terms of formula rather than the lather not being as good at it. It's very good stuff, there's just no question. All right, here we go with our Game Changer, and this razor is just extremely smooth. It's got some decent efficiency to it. Now it's not like Beulah R41 efficient, nor is it supposed to be. It feels forgiving, but it doesn't forgive those whiskers. It does a good job of, you know, getting those whiskers out of there, which is what you want. You want a razor that's tough on the whiskers but easy on the face, and this one sure fits the bill. And when I tested the prototype, I really liked it, and nothing has changed. This is production version and it's excellent, and I'm very happy with it. Again, like I said, I've used it all week and have had no issues, and it will certainly be a go-to razor for me, and he continues to make them. I don't know if he has any right now, but if you're interested, go on over to Italian Barber and get on that list. There's an email sign-up thing, and it'll email you when he has some, or if you follow him on like Twitter or Instagram, you'll know even sooner a lot of times. Now, I have received a few emails from Canadian customers. One I don't think I've answered yet, so sorry, sir, if you're watching this. I will get to you, but I'll kind of verbally get into it as well. Sorry, I got to run water for just a second. Let me pause this. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and lather up while we talk. Anyway, I've received some emails over the years about Canadian customers and Italian Barber and the prices, you know, and I'll be very honest with you. I don't really know much about the Canadian market and prices and shipping, how all that stuff goes. So I don't really have an answer for you on that. You would have to, you know, check with Italian barber on that. But some folks said either the shipping's expensive or it's too much in Canadian dollars. And again, I apologize. I'm just not equipped to give you any answers on that because I don't run the company and I don't know what it takes to run, of course, a company like that, let alone doing so in Canada. I don't know if it costs businesses more money to operate in Canada. There's special taxes when dealing with a Canadian citizen versus American. I mean, there are all sorts of things that could probably influence the price for Canadians. So I know it's a non-answer, but it's the only answer I got, which is I have no idea why prices are what they are. But generally, the prices for, at least from the perspective of an American, the prices at Italian barber on a lot of their razor, especially their house brand, which is RazoRock, are very good. And this razor is quite good. It's somewhere around 50 something, I want to say. I can't recall, but it's well worth it. And now in Canadian or some other international market, it may be entirely different. And again, I can't really tell you why that is because I'm just not involved in the business aspect at all of wet shaving. I can certainly understand when things seem too expensive. You don't want to, fool with it. And so I'll be honest, if things seem too expensive to me, I wouldn't buy them either. But I encourage you to reach out to Joe or some of the folks at RazoRock, and maybe they can explain that because I certainly cannot. All right, second pass is quite good. One of the things I like about this is it's efficient without being rough. Like sometimes you use the R41 and it's a little rough. But this it's again, I don't want to compare the two. The R41 is like a very aggressive razor, but sometimes it doesn't feel smooth, and we always want it to be smooth and easy on your face, which this razor certainly is. By the way, I'm drying my hands with the Timeless hand towels that they sell, which is good stuff. I love me some Timeless too, as you know. And let's get into this Asian Plum a little bit more for our third pass. I'll probably do a head shaving video today, as I did not get a chance to do one last week. Last week, I went on a little weekend vacation of sorts down to Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, and Gatlinburg, and had a nice time. The weather was raining like crazy when we got down there, but it turned out to be a very nice weekend. I actually got remarried, and I married a woman that I have, I dated for a couple of years when I was in high school, and I've known for 30 years. So we had known each other for a long time, had dated, and have been seeing each other for a number of months. I know in the minds of many, that's too soon. What are you rushing for? Wasn't really rushing. It just felt like the right thing to do, and she's a wonderful woman, and so we got hitched, as they say, in these parts, and so we had a good time, wonderful time, in fact. It was very, very nice, beautiful area down there in the Smokies, and just very, very nice. One of the things that I would mention is, as I mentioned in my previous videos about what I said on Thanksgiving, is I'm not one of these people who mope around typically, and I did not mope around when I had problems in my last marriage. I just move on, and so that's just me. And whether you choose to move on quickly or slowly, I would always say, try to keep the moping around to a minimum, and find something to do, find a hobby, find a person, find friends, find family, and find something that brings value and some level of joy to your life, and focus on that rather than moping. That's my advice. All right. Boy, I tell you, this is a nice, really nice shave, and the performance of this Asian Plum has been quite good. As you can see, I have very little lather left, and this razor just gliding right along. No problem on what we call residual slickness. Very, very good stuff. And let's just hit this last area here. And then we will come back and do a little post for you. So hang in, we will be right back with the post. All right, and here we are back with the magic made by witches. And again, I'm almost out. I need to order some more Thayers, which is great stuff, as you know. Oh, very, very nice. And let's do a quick summary of what we used. RazoRock Game Changer. Very nice razor. Mild to medium in aggression. Leans more towards medium than mild, but it's still very smooth. Very efficient, priced well. It's really great, and I love it. And again, this handle is a Mamba handle, which is also made by RazoRock. It's not the standard offering that comes with the Game Changer, but he has a number of handle options when they're in. We used Ariana and Evans Asian Plum, which is great stuff, very good performer, from Peter Charkalis. And we used the RazoRock 400. This one is aluminum, the glossy finish. Again, I prefer the sort of butterscotch one that's lighter. This one is aluminum, and honestly, it feels a little cumbersome being so heavy. It's got a great knot. I've used it for about a week. I used this one day, and I just prefer the handle on this one. I just don't like weighty handles, but it is a good quality brush for what you pay for it, to be sure. And we're going to finish it off today with a little Captain's Reserve by Beaver Woodwight, which this tastes, I haven't drank it, but it smells like Creed Aventus, if you're familiar. And this was sold by, I'm trying to think of the gentleman's name, Justin. I can't think of, his company is no longer around. He was out in California, really good guy. And his business, I always thought he's one of the up-and-comers. He's going to do big things, but then he decided to sort of change up and do some different things, I believe, with his wife, but he's a tremendous guy. Anyway, it was sold from that company. I'm forgetting, Shave Revolution was the name. I don't know if Beaver Woodwight still sells this, but it's very good stuff. And that will be it for this particular chapter of the I Am CDB project. Once again, I've been your host, CDB. You're not. God bless.